Well, hello, you guys. Welcome to Dog Hugs. Geraldine, it is terrific to see you and terrific to see you guys out there. Geraldine, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Larry. I'm over here in beautiful, sunny Kansas City, Missouri, loving our weather. How are you doing over there?
Well, you know, we have a cool day today here in Los Angeles.
Nice.
And I'm really happy right now because at this moment, until this moment, Spider was behaving. You know, he loves his dog hugs. Folks, come here, buddy. So I'm gonna mute, and Geraldine, tell the folks what's going on today.
Sure, absolutely. So we're so glad to have you here with us today because Larry and I have had the opportunity to start working with Spider with some of the issues that he's having, and I'll call them hurdles. They're not issues. He's just miscommunicating with us, and we're gonna, what I'd like to call, demote him and then re-promote him into a new job that's a little more fitting for him, especially when he's a TV star. Right? Right, Spider? Yeah, Spider just said yes. I saw that. So we're talking about some different things regarding dogs. We'll do this a few subjects at a time. And to make it easy today, we're going to discuss a couple of them. One of them is Larry's doing some work over here with Spider, showing some of the different tricks he can do. And I think he mastered a new one. So he's going to show that off. And he's really doing great.
Yeah, well, I'll show you the new thing that we are doing, and what I would really love your help on, Geraldine, is to help Spider to stop barking. That's my want.
I know, and you know, have you ever had a friend around that just talks too much and you just don't know how to tell him to stop? Well, just kidding. All kidding aside.
That's funny. So actually, the new trick is this. You know, I've got this platform here that I sit on. But what I discovered yesterday is I put this exercise ball behind me just for back support. And I find if I keep it there, Spider sometime for a little while at least is a little quieter. At least
it must feel really good laying on that ball and having that support. It probably feels like he's getting a hug back.
Smart. He is so smart that, you know, we call that show smart once a dog really gets into it. So during the show today, Geraldine is going to guide Spider and me, and come on, buddy. And we also want quiet. Thank you. Good boy.
He is. He's a good boy.
And we also want your dog. We also want your dog training questions. Geraldine, did you say that?
Yeah, so I'd love to have your dog training questions today. The first subject we are going to talk about is about Spider and about how we direct a cattle dog's energy. Because cattle dogs have a job, and it's an innate job. They have a skill of keeping the herd together, making sure no one falls behind, making sure they're leading. So they're in charge of a really big job. If they don't have a really big job at home, since I don't think he sneaks out in the middle of the night and goes herding cattle or sheep on you, does he? Have you checked his iPhone, his GPS to see where he's been?
Right. Well, first we've got a couple of wonderful check-ins.
Sure.
You know what? Before we get into the check-ins, hi, Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Audrey.
Let's get right into the training. So help me, help Spider, please.
Sure. So what I do when I have a dog that barks, especially a cattle dog, is I teach them speak and I teach them quiet so that they know the difference between me asking them to alert or me asking them to what I call wait for my next cue. Hold their position, focus on me, which means quiet as well, usually. So I like to train those two things, and I think he's so smart. Right now, as he barks, if you treat him and say, good bark, then we'll be able to start to get him to bark on cue. Then
I would love to get him to bark on cue on what I'm. Okay, we'll try it. Let's try
You know,
it.
remember we did the hands up and had him do the fist? We should try to do that while you talk.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it. So I like to distract a barking dog. If you have a dog that's barking too much, I usually love when they have a trick that we can hone. And in this case, Spider knows so many, but a really easy one for Larry to actually do while he's on camera is to have him do either high five left, high five right, high five left, or shake, back and forth, alternating, or wave. Wave right, wave left, wave right, wave left, and keep doing that. And actually, Larry's the one that's going to control and tell Spider which one he's going to do. Spider's not going to determine which one he's going to do. And once he gets that mental kick, that little mental rush of, ooh, I'm doing this for Dad. I'm doing something he needs, and it's really important. And does that until he actually starts to wear out a little bit. Then we have him in a better balanced mental state to be able to pay attention to other things, like focusing for a long amount of time. Yeah. So here Larry's demonstrating. And by the way, as Larry does this, I'm going to mention something really, really important. It's not only important to me, but it's important for everyone out there to understand that even trainers, as great as Larry is and as great as I am, we all have our troubles with our own dogs sometimes. And even training other people's dogs, it takes a little longer sometimes for either a certain breed or maybe a certain family situation. So in this case, Larry's a really great trainer. He has adopted one of the most difficult dogs to train. And if you watch right now how well skilled he is, how they are together, and how great he's done, this is more of a mixed message issue that probably has something to do with the way he's being fed, or the way there's something in his day that's making him think he needs to let Larry know something's going on. Also, there are times when Larry might give him a treat after he's barked, which then signals to him, the smart little guy that he is, that he wants, if he barks, he gets a treat. So he tries to turn Larry into a slot machine. To just pop out those treats. And I've seen it. I've done it. It's happened. Sometimes it happens by accident. But as you've noticed, see how much more calm now he's becoming just because Larry's doing some. Yeah, actually, I think personally some of the barking's been trained into him. So it's something to just do your best to not get frustrated while we demote him and then re-promote him to co-star instead of star. Although he is the star.
You know, it's so interesting, Geraldine, as long as Spider has a job to do,
he's calm.
He's calm.
And then when he doesn't have a job, or he thinks he doesn't have a job. So what we might add is we're going to maybe even use the way we use our release word. We'll use our release word differently. That might help as well. Also, when he doesn't have your attention, and that's a biggie. There are people out there right now giving their dog too much attention and even possibly doing what I call the hugging them to death, like loving on them a little too much and not giving enough space. And that is setting them up for a lot of different issues. And I was just at a shelter today and they're bracing for the next pandemic that will come to them, which is all the dogs that will have separation anxiety or behavioral disorders flocking in.
Yeah. So Spider is going to bark here in a little bit, undoubtedly. Yep. So what do you do?
And so let's jump him back up. Put him back on the yes. And now when he barks, say good bark and treat him for barking. Yes. Say good bark. Wait till he barks.
And don't treat him for being good.
Nope, treat him for barking. Say good bark. And now give him a treat. Say good bark, because now you've and if you have your clicker, you can click during the bark so we make the connection. But he's so smart. But then we're gonna do the next one. You're gonna say quiet, say Spider quiet. Spider quiet. And when he's quiet, then give him a treat. Help him make the connection between the difference between quiet and speak. And he's this smart. He should learn it in this session.
Bark. So reward for the bark, Geraldine?
Reward for bark, and then ask him to be quiet, and then reward for quiet. Then ask him to bark, reward for bark, and then ask him to be quiet, reward for quiet.
Very good, quiet. Good quiet.
Now let a little bit more time go from quiet.
Good quiet. Good quiet, Spider. Very good.
Good, quiet, Spider. Yes.
Good.
And you are so good with your tone, Larry. That's another important dog training task that you have mastered.
Appreciate
If you use your tone properly, you train a dog with your tone. You can actually control them. You can guide them with your tone.
Yeah.
And right now you're doing such a great job guiding him with your tone because he's going, why aren't you mad that I'm barking? You're rewarding me for barking now. So the energy's changed around this. And he's trying to figure everything out.
Quiet. Very good. You know, it's as long as he has a job.
Yes. Yes. Well, so you took your attention away from him. So keep doing the quiet.
Am I going to mark and reward the barking now?
So what this just showed me, which I already knew, was that he likes to lead you. So when he loses your attention, he barks at you to get your attention, and you immediately give it to him, which makes him then think that that's a good thing. But it's not. I want you in charge of guiding him instead of him in charge of guiding you. Right. And there are a couple.
My impulse was to give him some attention, and instead I probably withdraw.
So I don't want you to do it right now. I want you to practice the quiet and speak skill. Keep doing the quiet and speak just like you were doing, and do that for a couple more minutes while we talk.
So I'll wait until he's quiet.
Just tell him, say quiet.
Quiet.
Say quiet. Say Spider quiet.
Quiet. Oh, good quiet. Very good.
Now say Spider speak.
Spider.
Speak. He probably heard me. So go ahead and reward him for the speak because I think he heard me. That's a good boy.
See, when I'm standing, interesting, he does sit. Good quiet. Good quiet, little buddy. Yeah.
But when you turn your head, he will bark because he's used to getting your attention. That's what he uses to get your attention.
Good boy, wait there.
Now ask him to speak.
I'm trying to frame up so we could see both of us.
Almost.
Yeah. Spider.
Perfect. Now ask him to speak.
Speak. Well, he doesn't know this cue yet. It's a new one. He used to know it, and our cue for that used to be like this, but he's since lost it.
It's okay. He'll get it back very quickly. He's that smart.
Go. Yeah. Good boy. Good quiet.
Now you can toss him a treat right now. If you have one, you can you can reward him for being quiet. You can either toss them to him if he catches them. My border collie Minnie also catches them in her mouth. But however, you can bring him to you and then reward him for that quiet behavior.
Yeah, wait there. Good job. Good quiet. Good quiet.
Perfect.
Good boy. Down. Good down.
Now, that's one thing I'm going to have you not do is when he already knows down and he lays down and then you say good down, he's then learning to direct you. And I don't want him to, I want you to direct him. So a lot of pet owners, their parents the dog has them on a leash. Does that make sense? Parent walking around, dog actually has the leash around the parent's neck, telling them what they want to do.
Yeah. Okay, so he's being quiet, and sometimes he's barking on his own. Which am I rewarding for?
So at this point, I want you to try quiet again.
Pardon me?
I want you to say quiet. Say Spider quiet. And I use this. I do this for quiet. Quiet.
Good, quiet.
Now reward him. Good, quiet. Good boy. And I if I don't have my clicker, I say yes, or say how you say good, quiet. That's why I think I'm so impressed with your tone always, because that really helps communicate the right thing.
Up, up, up. Up. Yes. Good boy. Oh, atta boy. Yeah, he's offering, as you might be able to see, he's offering. Here, over here. Here, I'm going to rotate these a little bit so you guys can see better.
Perfect. And then I want you to ask him to speak this time.
Okay.
Beautiful job. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
Sit. So am I waiting for him to offer?
No, you never wait. I don't wait for him to offer anymore. We're actually trying to shape those two behaviors. So I literally say speak, and I'll even go speak. Woo. I'll actually bark with him to get him going if he doesn't understand it. But I think he
Yes.
understands it already.
Speak.
Good boy.
Huff. Huff. Yes. Good. Speak. Okay. Come. Good boy.
Perfect.
Good boy. He's over in the laundry lounge trying to find out how does he get the treats up there?
Because you're making him work for them.
Yeah. Watch, he's going to bring the lid to the treat container.
Oh, that's hilarious.
To the treat container. Thank you.
Love that. I love his personality. His personality is fantastic.
I'm going to go put this back in the laundry lounge.
Sure. Boy, Spider. Spider, sit. Spider. He's like,
good boy. Spider. Huff. Good.
Beautiful.
Spider. Good. Spider. Huff.
Good job, Spider.
Yeah, so I'm using this as my hand signal.
Perfect.
Good.
It's good at that because you want a hand signal that you don't do all the time when you speak.
Wait. Spider.
You don't want to do less often. Nice.
Spider. Yes. Sit. Spider. Good.
Nice.
Spider. Right.
Nice. That was quick.
Spider. Wait. Wait. Good.
Nice.
All
Great
right.
job.
We're making a little bit of progress. Let's bring in a little bit of the chat right now. I may have to mute myself and have you engage with some of the chat.
Yeah, I would go wear him out a little bit on a few of his tricks in the background. I think that'd be great to see.
All right, so we've got oh boy, we've got some great questions.
Oh, Amanda. Hi,
And
Amanda.
We've got this. And we've got this.
Nice.
So which one do you want to go with?
So let's go with the first, the pit bull. It's destroying everything. What can I do? Amanda, great question. Please send us a picture of your pit bull. Please let us know where you're located. And make sure you reach out to us somehow so we have your information so we can give you a little bit more information after the show. But what I will say is, if he's destroying everything, I'm going to assume you mean chewing everything up. If you have a lot of stress in your house and he's a rescue, you might want to let me know a little background. But I think that a lot of the time, a dog, because that's the strongest muscle in their body, their jaw, similar to us, they anxiety comes out through chewing. So I like to find things they can chew on and give them time to chew on those things in a place where they feel safe and they can actually really dig in and chew, because chewing is a vulnerable time while they're chewing on something. Like, I think I have something here. I have a couple things here. One is the Earth Animal no hides. These are not rawhide, and this gives them something to chew on that actually is digestible. It's made from all natural ingredients, and I really actually love them because they last a long time. And if they do swallow some of it, it doesn't harm them. So you want to give them things to chew and direct them towards those things. Also, do they need more exercise or more mental stimulation? Maybe part of that chewing is boredom. So maybe adding an extra 10 minutes at the beginning and the end of your day with some mental, I call it my mental obstacle course that I run my dogs through. If they know how to shake, roll over, jump on the couch and off the couch, and in some sequence do those every day a couple of times, that really helps them. It helps raise their confidence level because they're showing you they know how to do something great. But it also helps them feel like they've done something to earn their dinner. So that might help. There are also Kongs and many other products out there to help with chewing, but that's part of chewing. And I'm not sure if she said anything else in there, Larry. But hopefully that gives you a start, Amanda.
I'm really glad. Come on, Spider, go over there. Yes.
Spider has a lot to say about chewing. I bet he was a chewer when he was little.
Yeah. All right. That's a great answer.
We're gonna find out another. We're gonna answer another question next. Larry's gonna choose.
Okay. Great. All right. I'm gonna choose. Here we go. How to potty train a pup not to pee inside?
Oh, potty training. Yeah, that can be a challenge, right? So I think it's Swathi. Swathi, that's beautiful. Your name is gorgeous, and I'm sure your puppy is amazing. But it gets really frustrating when you're constantly chasing a puppy around trying to clean up after it. So hopefully the weather is nice where you live, and you have your puppy on a schedule. That schedule should include some crate training time, which is really when they're supposed to be taking their nap. And we know the puppies are going to have to go potty after the following 4 episodes. When they wake up in the morning right away, when they play, after they eat or drink, and also after they nap. So those 4 times are really important to make sure that you understand that that's when they're going to have to go out. And then I always reward them once they go outside. I take them to the same spot every time. And I also do not let them walk out the door in front of me. I walk out the door in front of them first. They follow behind me. That helps them feel less vulnerable when it's time to go. Helps a lot. So if you can get on that schedule, I think that's going to help shape up your issues very quickly. But make sure you check with your vet. Maybe that your puppy has giardia. They can't hold their potty. And that can be a really big issue, and they can spread it to the other animals in the house. There are other issues like that. They're simple to fix, not expensive, but definitely get on that because puppies don't have an immune system.
Fantastic. Thank you. That was a great answer and a great question. Thank
Great
you for
question.
your question. Yeah. Okay, we've got another one for talent hounds. Actually, we know talent hounds. This is Susie Nation, I believe. And you do this when visitors come to the door? I'm wondering.
Nice. That means I think she has them go to a platform and has them wave both hands or something, does something to distract them, or has them show off, which I would think that would be talent hounds, one of their signature moves, right? I can't hear you, Larry. I lost your voice.
That's right. I put myself on mute.
Gotcha.
Let's do some more training with Spider.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like for you now to give him a break from the speak and the quiet, and I'd like for you to do a little what I call the obstacle course to demonstrate. Have him run through a bunch of tricks that he knows, but have him do it twice and it like just in random order. So have him roll the ball and then jump up on and then sit pretty and then jump off and then roll over 3 times one way, roll over 3 times the other, and then sit up and wave one paw, lay down. You choose.
Tricks.
And I think that while you do that, everybody's going to be so entertained by that. I'll just give a little background about why it's important to do this every day, at least once a day, and to teach your pet some tricks. Even if you haven't issues, you can help redirect and exercise them mentally by teaching them tricks. Larry's doing one of my favorites right now. I absolutely love it. I am working. Yeah, this is the best. He calls it
footsies.
Footsies, and I call it walkies. Right now because mine's on the street, so he's doing footsies. It's really fun. So now he's going between his legs, and he's going between his legs backwards, which is not easy to do. He sat pretty, and I'm sorry, he did a play bow, and then he went ahead and ran. I missed what he did. I'll remember in a second. And he's so good. So this really works him out mentally, and this is a replacement for when where he thinks he should be herding sheep or herding cattle or horses or out hunting with his cowboys. So this is a really great way if your pet has, thank you, Larry. This is a great way if your pet has these skills to work them out twice a day at home besides their physical exercise. And Larry's done an incredible job with Spider. I don't remember how many times he had been at the rescue, but I'm assuming that that.
He was there 3 times.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was multiple.
Yeah. He was
And you can see he still has some of the issues, and I don't mean issues, it's hurdles of mixed messages and communication. Beautiful, beautiful. So I believe you do this a couple of times a day before your meals, and it's just one of the best ways to help them feel like they've earned it. And then they kind of chill out the rest of the day, like they don't feel like they need to do as much because they've gotten a job. And their job doesn't have to exhaust them. I mean, unless they're the type of dog like my border collie who needs to be pretty exhausted every day. But he's also 7 months now, so he has a lot of puppy energy. So watch here where Larry has Spider go and do a lot of. I love the spin. So he's spinning around his riser, and he's going over to his other riser, and he's spinning around his riser.
Yeah, this is
and
perch. It's one of the 4 fundamentals that I love to teach the shelter dogs.
Yes,
it becomes a building block for all kinds of tricks and helps dogs get adopted really easily. And I find that sometimes dogs will just do this automatically.
And it's amazing, isn't it, how some dogs just naturally and some breeds just naturally do certain things.
So now we're going to go. These are rubberized dog bowls. Rubber bottom, just a regular dog bowl with a rubber bottom, so it's non-skid. And this is a much smaller bowl than the others. And so eventually, learns to do it on a smaller bowl.
Yes.
Buddy. And come here. Now I turn the bowl upside down, and it becomes a new trick. Get it. There you go.
Beautiful. See? So do you see how even though he's trained so well, he still has a couple of behavior issues, and those issues came with him. They're imprinted in a cattle dog.
Yeah.
You saw how bad it was for him to learn today.
That's part of the reason it was so hard for him to stay with a family.
Right.
You know, it really takes a lot of work to keep him focused. Good boy. How about a sit? Is that a sit? It's almost a sit. That's a sit. Wait.
Nice.
Hello.
Beautiful. Keep going.
Yeah. Should I try a bark or
I would,
not?
yeah. Now we've distracted him. Now let's bring him back to quiet.
Good. Good. Good.
Nice.
Yes. Sit. Wait. Sit. Good boy. Good. So
Nice.
the thing that Carolyn's trying to teach us how to do is we're trying to extinguish barking by training him to bark. He gets rewarded for barking on cue. Doesn't
I will
get
say
rewarded or acknowledged when he barks not on cue. Eventually, the barking not on cue self-extinguishes.
correct.
Right. So good. That's a little bit more work for Spider. Let's go with another question. Let's see, what do we got here? Well, first of all, we've got some other folks checking in. Greetings.
Oh, wow.
Rovina, what time is it there? Well, I'm a night owl too. What time is it there for you, Admira? Great to have you with
Please
us.
let us know. I should look it up.
And our friend Yolanda in Mexico City. Oh, that's great. Yes.
Nice.
Great
Thanks,
to have
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Yeah. And what's Spider's breed? Geraldine, why don't you talk about Spider and his breed?
So I believe, if I remember correctly, Larry, he's a cattle dog mix, but they aren't 100% certain, correct?
I've never had him tested.
Right.
I don't know his exact breed, but for sure he's an Australian cattle dog.
Yes, and I would say he's
on that.
I would say he's pure, but
else, you know?
I would think he's pure, but I'm not certain, and I try never to guess because sometimes they can have something else that doesn't display enough characteristic to be able to tell. But
Right.
I'm going to assume pure Australian cattle dog, and I'm going to assume that he most likely was so like he's gorgeous, but he was such a cute puppy. So wherever he came from, they did not do a great job of how they handled him in his early stages of life. That's evident.
So, yeah. Yeah, so the Australian.
Say.
I need some help with this, Mom. I would love to.
Yes. So turn and ask him to be quiet and see how long he'll hold his quiet.
Spider, be quiet. Good, quiet.
Before you reward him, see how long it takes him to hold his quiet.
Good, quiet. He's offering right now a few different behaviors. He just put his head down, which we call sad dog.
Yes.
Sad dog. Yeah. Sad dog with wagging tail. Good boy, Spider. Okay. So yeah, he's an Australian cattle dog, and maybe he's mixed with something. The Australian cattle dog was originally bred with wild dingoes.
Yes, we love dingoes.
Hundreds. With,
so they have a lot of them, and they have a very high threshold for everything.
Yeah.
The high threshold for exercise, mental exercise, tenacity. They can hold their pee for 10 days.
This is not a dog. Not a dog. I am so glad we're doing this, Geraldine. This is so important. You know,
it is. And also as I was mentioning earlier, and we'll go into a little bit more, you and I will one-on-one, and we'll show some results, is I do believe that during part of his last couple of rescues before you brought him in, he was starting to lead his family in such a way that he was having distress. And that's why he works to lead you, not because he wants to or knows how to, it's because that's what he's used to.
Yes. Here's my good friend, Kevin Cochran from Hawaii, from the Big Island.
Aloha.
To you, Kevin. Aloha to you too, brother.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, Kathy Ann, great to see you again. Oh, this is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you for bringing you, and it looks like you're unicorns. That's great. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And hi again, Bailey. This is
hi,
really
Bailey.
Great. Let's go to another dog. Well, let's do a little bit more work with Spider and just see if we can get a step further. And then, you know what? Maybe we do another session together next week. You know,
yes,
to show the progress. And I hope, folks, this gives you some confidence that even among professionals we get challenged. This is like dog.
I mean, I can tell you right now that Spider and a couple of other dogs I've seen that are cattle dog or of that like collie-esque, they are really challenging. And even shepherds, many shepherds come back to the shelters 3 or 4 times, and sometimes they bring professional trainers in like us that have worked with really challenging situations to help remedy that. And sometimes there is not a remedy, but I usually can find a remedy. Sometimes it's genetics. Sometimes it's the damage is so deep that maybe I have to go to a shock collar to help remedy that dog and save its life. Maybe it's chewing its leg off. Maybe it's scratching so terribly it's ripping its nails out. There are so many different scenarios. So Spider's lucky to have you, Larry. I'm grateful that for adopting him, because he is a challenge, and it's a daily challenge, but it's also one that I won't say it's winnable. You will win, but it's not a contest, but you will win in this whole scenario just for all the groundwork that you've laid already, and we'll be able to change his thinking.
Yeah. Now, one piece of training that I want to get a little bit deeper into is what you were talking about before, was using a clicker.
Yes.
versus my saying good. Folks, what Geraldine is referring to is called a marker. We want to mark the behavior that we want. And I use a word like good or yes. Some trainers like to use yes, and sometimes I will use that. Geraldine starts using a clicker. And a clicker is a terrific instrument for marking the specific behavior. It makes this very distinct clicking sound. And so the dog learns that that click means yes or good. The advantage to a clicker over saying the word good is the sound.
He's great. He's trying to take your lines.
The sound of the clicker is very precise at the moment, whereas the word good extends over a long period of time. It's not as precise. So we have another idea coming in on the clicker from Scott Reagan. Can clicker and snapping fingers be used interchangeably? Do you have an opinion about that, Ellen?
Great question. First of all, you can use them interchangeably if you're using them for the right purpose at the right time, because it doesn't matter what sound you use to train your dog with. However, my darling husband likes to use a snap with the command when actually the snap's supposed to be used when they do the command properly. So it's really nice to understand what that click means. Like what is it supposed to represent? It's supposed to represent a yes. You just did it right. Good boy, good girl. It's not meant to go do that like you do with other things, which makes me giggle. So thanks for the question, Scott Reagan. You're so hilarious and I adore you. Thank you. Mwah. So we have this problem in our house. I use the clicker to train, but my husband likes to use a snap with his command. So, and I use the word command right now, but what I really mean is what behavior you're asking that dog to do at that moment. So he'll ask his dog to sit and he'll go, buddy, sit. And he'll snap with the finger down with the hand signal. And it's cute, but it's not a clicker. It's not marking the behavior being done properly.
The challenge is to work on our timing. You know?
Yes.
And I really appreciated how you were complimenting me on the timing when I would say good. Or the
great timing.
The snapping of the fingers of the click. By the way, I'm just seeing now. Can you put your ring back up there? That's fantastic.
Isn't that cute? He's a beaded ring, and I love him. I got him in Mexico. He's the cutest thing.
Great.
I know. I'm crazy.
All right. We've got another comment. Let's see. From Miguel. I have an exactly same dog, but female. Her name is Vaquita, little cow.
Little cow. That's a great name.
I assume that was an answer of something with Spider, Miguel. Is that right? Yeah. Great. Thank you for
that. I'm glad that we could help.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, so we've got a good start here of training. You're going to see this progress. We'll do another Ask the Dog Trainer session. Please bring your questions. Geraldine is truly one of the best trainers in the whole country and in my view in the world. So, let's, try to stump her.
Yeah, please do. I would love to have the stumping questions, and I don't know it all, but I can find the answer if I don't. That's the key. And I just feel like I've worked with so many breeds from all over the world, and also it's managing the people. I mean, you've heard it a million times. You shape the dog's behavior by shaping the owner's behavior. So a lot of the time it's something little. It could be the way they're being fed. It could be the way you need to ignore them for a minute and then reframe the question that you're asking them and how you communicate with them, not giving mixed messages. There are layers that we can unravel here on the Dog Hugs.
Hey, you know what? Spider's being really quiet right now. I'm going to reward him. Good, quiet, Spider.
Nice. And I'm going to get my stuffed animal because my dog is still covered in mud. So I'm getting a hug from my stuffed animal right now.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It's been raining every day here, so my backyard is beautiful, but I have a lot of mud.
Yes. So let's go into our shelter shout outs for today, Geraldine.
There are so many shelters that I love, but I actually today was lucky enough to go visit Wayside Waifs, one of my favorite Kansas City locations that's been rescuing cats and dogs for over 75 years.
Yeah,
and they're amazing, and we love the people that run all the people that operate the place, the trainers, the kennel attendants, the staff, the volunteers. Everyone there is so special. Jeff Hall is the man with the plan in charge, and large and in charge. And I don't mean large, I mean he's skinny. He looked really good today when I saw him. He's lost weight. He looks awesome, but he is large and in charge there. And I love what they do for animals. There were only 3 dogs and about 10 cats in the shelter today. So they're doing a great job getting so much taken care of, and they're preparing for what could be the next wave of pets coming in. So they're proactive, and I really appreciate them and all the people that fund and help, and they're great. Great.
Yeah. Well, my shout out, of course, goes to Pet Orphans, who rescued Spider, brought him off of death row, and we met on one of my film sets. I made films with shelter dogs to help them get adopted. And Spider, you probably won't be surprised to know, but Spider was the dog who didn't get adopted because he was so difficult. And a month later, I came back to the shelter. He was still there. I, volunteered to walk him, introduced him to the agility course. Good boy, buddy. And each time he learned a new trick, I saw this spark. He began to open up. Instead of avoiding eye contact, he looked at me. So I taught him some hand signals. He smiled. And I decided I was up for a big challenge, Geraldine. I brought this little guy home with me forever. And he now knows more than 50 dog tricks. When I first adopted Spider, our veterinarian needed 3 technicians just to examine him. Now we perform dog tricks in the waiting room.
Isn't that great? What a success story.
A completely different dog. And so dog tricks, have saved his life. And I truly believe that dog tricks can save lives. You're going to see some.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see some great improvement over these weeks.
Absolutely. You took him from 0 to hero, like overnight, Larry.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen.
So, my blessing today. Come here, buddy. You know what? My blessing today. I'll tell you in a moment.
It's okay.
Good, quiet. Very good boy. He's down on the floor right here. My blessing today goes. Good, quiet. Very good boy. My blessing today goes. This is not easy. My blessing today goes to Spider. Come here, buddy. Good boy. Good job, buddy.
Good job, Spider. We love you.
My blessing today goes to Spider for being such a trooper and trying so hard and for challenge. Come on. Go up there. Yes. Down. Good boy. Yes. Wait. Good boy. Okay, wait there, buddy. Okay. Yeah, it goes to Spider. He's taught me so much. Go.
They do, don't they? They teach us so much.
Yeah.
They really do.
Dogs teach us about life and love, and I have learned a lot about both from Spider.
They teach us how we operate.
Yeah.
They really do. They offer so much insight. And Spider's so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
He really is.
All right. So, who do you want to give a shout out to in your life? Geraldine?
So I'm going to give a shout out to my husband who jumped on today because he has made such improvements, and he was never malfunctioning as a dog owner, but he's made great strides in his understanding of how a dog's mind works and even a cat's mind works. And he's really shown great improvement even with our own dogs at home, because bringing a puppy border collie into a house full is not easy, and he has really hung in there. Now I've trained him well, but I thank him. I love him. He's been wonderful. We met in the pet industry, and I absolutely don't know what I'd do without him. So I'm grateful and a lot of gratitude for him and for his openness and willing to make strides and changes that maybe someone else might not be quite as willing to do. So
beautiful.
Shout out to you, babe.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we've got a couple of more comments. Yes, Spider's name is Spider the Naughty Trick Dog. Yes. Yeah. You know what? And then we've got a great question. We're not going to get into this now. Well, actually, do you want to give a quick answer?
Sure. I can give a quick answer.
Dogs stop fighting each other when I pet them. Thank you, Yenna, for that important question. That's a really important one.
It is a great one. Larry, why don't you mute yourself just for a second, because I'll go through this quickly. This is a great question. This happens all the time. And I am a big proponent of making sure that you spend separate time with your pets, that one of them takes a nap while you work with the other one. And while that one's taking a nap, then you just switch to the other. Now, that doesn't always mean walks and everything, but you actually give them some qualified, dedicated time to just them. Then when you bring them together, give them something to distract them from one another. Now, make sure there's not something wrong with one of them, because a trip to the vet's always a good idea, or just a call in to see if something's odd, or maybe talk with a behaviorist or someone certified in that area so that you can get the right answer. But for some reason, they're feeling jealous over something. They might be operating from a little scarcity. Maybe you need to make sure that one of them doesn't have a dietary issue because they're lacking something, and which is possible. Also, I like to treat the oldest dog in the house first, and then my treatment steps down by age. So the youngest one is last and the oldest one is first, or in the order they came into the home, if you're not happy with that. And that's a way that you kind of keep a hierarchy of who gets the attention first, and then they all wait their turns, and they're a little bit more cordial and they have a little bit better manners.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Geraldine.
Great question.
I really appreciate. Yeah, great question. Wonderful show today. Thank you guys so much for being with us. A big hug to all y'all. And we wish you guys a great weekend and look forward to sharing Monday again with you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
There we go. Okay. See you guys.